Yeah. No, well, I mean, decrease in price. You set the price. You set the price, right? I think you're live. This is a good moment to also drop the. Well, we can tell William to hop on it. I guess. He's usually top of things. Should be live. YouTube. Develop. UF. Ah.
Look at that. Look.
Top of the Google. Oh. Ooh. Are we live? We are live. Paper and pen game design. Pen and paper game design. I'll put us on the Discord. Looks good to me. Can you hear us clearly, William? Here's the link. Looking at the admin channel right now. Okay. I'll announce. He says I'll announce the link. He'll probably respond to if he can hear us well in a minute. All right. Yeah.
Cool. Great.
Yeah.
I've done this before. Typically.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it. Me, the producer.
Yes.
There you go. You should be good.
Amazing. Great. Just Alrighty. Ooh. Great. You sound good. Is there a clicker? Is there normally a clicker? Oh, we need to turn on these things. There's never a clicker. Gotcha. Oh. Ooh. Oh, we're hearing the stream audio. Wait, we have to. Yeah, there you go.
Why is that the primary? It's about to start feeding back.
There. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. Great.
Yeah, I don't think we're.
No.
No? How are we here? Where's that blasting? Hold on.
Try Chrome.
Chrome. Oh, we're on the. I'm sorry, we have the.
There you go. Great. Perfect. Done.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. Okay. Awesome. Hope everybody came prepared. We're good. The camera's pointed at Brian, by the way.
Here, I'll.
Okay. Great. Really sorry. Thanks everybody for dealing with our technical difficulties as we get started a little late here, but don't worry, it should be just fine. I was having some anxiety about how short this might be, but it looks like we're going to work out in the end. We're getting started a little early. Thank you so much. All right. So hello everybody. Thanks for coming. This is my first workshop that I've ever led. So kind of crazy. Big moment for me. So I hope everybody gets some value out of this. It's a topic that I like to talk about, and we don't really talk about too much game design. We normally talk about really technical things, Blender, your coding, your Unity, all that stuff, things that quite frankly fly over my head a lot because, as some of you know, I'm not a CS major, so it's just like, whatever, right? So we're going to talk about something that is a little bit more accessible to more people, and that's how you can practice your game design, make your technical game design better by using a simple pen, a simple piece of paper, things that were invented before your grandparents were born. Oh, great. Okay, It's a lot of green. So simple agenda today, okay? What is pen and paper game design? How do you do it? And spoiler there, you're going to use your friends as guinea pigs. And why should you do it? Okay. So hope everybody's taking notes. So what is it? So there's 4 things that I consider pen and paper game design to be, and it's starting with analog. What analog means is that it doesn't use computers. It doesn't use any technology. The only technology that it uses are your pen, your paper, or something to write on, something that you write with. You know, it could be a marker and a whiteboard. It could be a pen and paper. It could be a stick and some sand. You know, you use what's in your brain, what you want the game to be, and you put it down on paper, and it's really quick. Second, it's quick. You can do it really quickly. If you're using a pencil, you can erase. A marker, you can erase and like make changes on the fly. Accessible. Everybody has something to write with and to write on. And going back to like the second point, it's like it's iterative. Since you're not working within like all these really technical things, these technical like game engines and code and things like that, like the limit of how you can iterate is just yourself, your hand, and what you want to change, and super done. Why should you use it? So I alluded this before. If you're a noob like me, you can. It's easy to get overwhelmed by things that you're really new to. So if you're ever discouraged by anything intimidating you tools, like when I remember I first started doing Unity for the first time, and I was like, okay, I have a great idea of what I want to do. How do I do it? How do I actually make Zelda in Unity? Like, how does that look like? Okay, well, obviously you're just going to put the level down, right? And okay, how do I put the level down? What's a tile map? What are textures? Oh, and so then I have to go through all these hours of reading, watching YouTube videos, reading tutorials, and asking people in the develop server what everything is before I can actually put down and visualize what it is I want to do. With a pen and paper, you can just go right to it and have like an idea of what you want to do first. Concepting, if you're already experienced and you can pretty much create whatever you want, you still need to like have an idea of what you want to do to kind of direct yourself and give yourself some vision. I put a quote from Ernest Hemingway up here, and that's: the first draft of anything is poop. Okay, I'll censor myself for the live stream. This helps you get that garbage pass out of the way. When you're working in something that's a little bit more technical, then you have to deal with some more things that might keep you from, it's about removing the barriers from your brain to a medium. And when that barrier is removed, then you can get to like what it is that you actually want to create and getting that done. And second, it's fun. It's fun to test your things out with friends when you're playing like a tabletop RPG like D&D. I had the D&D like picture there in the last slide, because one of the principal ways that you do pen and paper game design is with tabletop RPGs, with pen and paper games. And when you're playing with friends, they're like, it's like instant QA. It's instant QA right there for you. There's like very quick feedback, and since you're like, if you're like the DM, it's all improv, right? So you can like make changes to your level design on the fly, and then test it out right there. Like the feedback loop is super quick, and I'll talk about some of my experiences with that later. So how do you do it? So on here, super simple, right? Like here, you have some graph paper, you get a pencil out, some pen, and some nice colors, and you just start seeing what you want to have put down. So I'll start with the picture on the right here. This is from the Gator Game Jam 2021. I worked on this with Michael, and that was a 3D platformer, and I was the guy who had to make the level. So I was like, okay, I don't know. We were working on Unreal Engine, and I never used Unreal Engine in my life. I only ever used Unity twice. So now I'm using Unreal Engine, but I don't know like how I want this level to look. So I'm just going to put it down on paper first while Michael like explains to me later how the level design tools are made. So I put it down on graph paper. Okay, what do we want to have? Like, these are our 6 collectibles that we want to put down. It's super helpful to color code your things. Give you some direction on where they're going to be. Landmarks, basic, and I like using graph paper because you have some basic scale as well. How big paths are, how big like this hill is going to be in comparison to everything, how big this village is going to be, etc. And then the picture on the left was from this like Zelda-like game that I was talking about earlier, where I mapped out this city first to know like, okay, well, once I figure out what a tile map is, now I know exactly where I want everything to be. You can see there's some like eraser marks if you look in closely, because I was like, actually, I don't want to make it like this. I want to do this instead, and so on and so forth. So some iteration there that you see. And then this is from a D&D campaign that I was a DM for a couple of years ago, back during the pandemic. And this was a level on the left. That was a level that I had my players go through. And the basic idea was they were going through this underground tunnel. And that was like that was going under a river. Okay. And when I was first doing this, I was like, okay, so how do I break this down? Okay, and I looked up some resources and some hints and tips and tricks on like how to like make this make sense. Okay, so what I did was I made this like simple. I took this on the back of this paper actually. I was like, okay, so use some basic storytelling tools. Okay, who, what, when, where, and why. Like what is going on here? Okay, so it's an abandoned tunnel. Who is in here? Who meaning like, well, what are the characters? Obviously, the players are going to be in there. Who are the bad guys? There's a giant spider in here, and there's zombie guards. That's who they're going to face. Who's a good character in here? A good NPC. They're going to find this forgotten soldier Benji here, who's going to help them along the way if they find him. The spider wants to make more minions because the zombies are like infected. They're not actually zombies, right? And they want to eat more. That's like the motivation of the enemies. When is this? Okay, so in the context of our campaign, they were running from city guards. They were trying to escape, and so they're in here through desperation, right? Where is it? Outside of this fictional city that I made. They're underneath the river. So how is that going to play into what the level is going to be like? It's underground. It's been a while since people have been here. What's the history of this place, and how is that going to factor into how they interact with the level? And why are they here? They're escaping from guards. They're escaping from in this campaign specifically. I had like these elite group of people called the Court of Vipers that were like level 15s, and they were like level 5s. And so it was quite a big deal for them to get away because they would just get insta-killed. So like there's some desperation here for them. Okay, and then also think about like when you're thinking about like a story, you have to have like a beginning, a middle, and end, and then some wild cards in there too to make things interesting. This is the flow of your level. So in the beginning, you want to set the tone. You want to present options. When they come in here, you're gonna be describing, okay, like this is what you see, this is what you hear. Have them do like perception checks. Like roll the dice to see what they can see or whatnot. In the middle, what are your obstacles going to be? What is there a main puzzle? Or who are the enemies that they're going to fight? What does that moment to moment look like? What are the challenges that they're going to find along the way? What are the rewards that they're going to get to help them along the way? So in the bottom. Like in the bottom here, like for example, in this room, I said, so here, this is the armory. They're going to find 10 fire arrows in here because one of the things that I made was like this spider who's infecting these zombies, their blood is super flammable. So fire is going to help them. Let me put fire arrows in this room so that they have like some sort of like guidance on like what it is that they should be doing. And when they come into the room, you describe, oh, you see a zombie on the floor and there's a fire arrow, like he looks clearly burned, whatever, and then immediately have them fight a zombie to test to see if like they picked up on that hint. And if they didn't pick up on the hint, then me as a DM, I have to say, okay, how can I kind of nudge them towards the direction of them knowing, okay, like the way to solve this puzzle is by using the fire element. And then in the end, like how does everything come together? What's the final encounter, the final task? How do you resolve, like story-wise, like how do you resolve threads and expose new ones going forward? So in this, it's like, okay, well, they get to the end, to the lift. So, some of them live, some of them might die. Actually, when I played this with my friends, they actually killed the NPC on accident because the way that they get through this, so there's like a pile of rubble here in the middle of the tunnel, and the way that they have to get through it is they have to go to this room, and in there is the spider, and there's this breakable wall that's here, and that's like, I describe it as like, oh, it looks like an explosion can like destroy this wall. And so if they've been picking up on the breadcrumbs along the way, then they know this spider that makes zombies with flammable blood is like is a fucking barrel of oil that if you hit it with fire, it's gonna blow up. So they ended up blowing up the NPC along with the spider and the wall. So that was some things in there. And then for the wild card, something you have to have like things that can be unexpected and have unintended consequences for what they're doing. So the thing with the fire is that they can do a lot of damage to the enemies, but they can also do damage to themselves. Like a few of them got burned throughout the way. Like they killed the NPC. I had plans for that NPC that for them going later on, but now they'll never see the NPC. They'll never have that story. So and that's because like you have to have things like things that'll be different. And there's also like in terms of wild cards like this, it can also come into place on like items, right? Like, are there any special items that they can find? And one of those items I had I had this sword that was pretty much like a lightsaber that whenever if you said a keyword, then it would shoot out like a flaming sword essentially, right? And now they have that tool. How are they going to use that later on? And when they get to the end, when they get to the end of this little dungeon, there was like going to be an encounter with a tough enemy. So now that one of the characters has this sword, they're going to do a lot better with this enemy. So it's all about like making things that aren't expected. But since you're an intelligent level designer and an intelligent game designer, you know how to plan for some of those things because you put them in there. So that's just some basics on pen and paper game design. But the thing about this is that it is pretty simple. So the best way to practice it, to learn it, is by practicing it, right? So, surprise, pen and paper game jam, okay? We're gonna have a game jam right now, but only with your pen and only with your paper, okay? We're gonna have some fun with this. So, some rules. I'm gonna give you I put variables here, but I'm gonna give you a theme, okay? And with that theme, you're gonna have 5 minutes to design a level, okay? Make a little layout, okay? I want you to give me a who, what, when, where, why based on this theme. I want to see a beginning, middle, end, and at least one wild card, a nice flow to what you want to do, and then we're going to present when time is up. Okay, so you're going to do this individually, and it's we're going to have a lot of fun. Okay, so hopefully maybe we might be able to do a few rounds of this depending on how many people want to present at the end. Okay, so. This is, and I'll take part in this as well because I don't know what's going to come up here. Okay, so how many clicks, everybody, on this generator? Is there a marker? You've got markers? Awesome, great. Yeah, I'll take a marker. And how many markers do you have? Oh, I mean, if people want to do markers on the whiteboard too, then I mean. Actually, no, we're gonna stay true. We're gonna stay true to the pen and the paper. Okay, we're gonna stay true to that. I'll do the whiteboard, but everybody else. Is there not like a document camera here? Is there? No. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. While he's looking for markers for more markers. Okay, there's 2 markers. It's okay. So there's 2 markers here. Okay, so how many clicks? 3 clicks. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Start with nothing. All right. Start with nothing, and let me go to the timer. People at home, if you're on the live stream, you can follow along and post your designs. Oh, hold on. You can post your designs in show off because this is game design. All right, ready? So 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll put the rules up here. Yeah. Oh god. Man. Okay. Anybody need a little bit more time? Does anybody have something with like that they want to present right now? Yeah. 2 more minutes? 2 more minutes? You're done? Okay. Yeah, secret. So this is iterative game design right here. 2 minute timer. 2 minute timer. Let's see if we can find another bomb one. Oh, say look, exactly their own. Okay, go. 2 minutes. Something random, something surprising, something that can have unintended consequences. All right. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So I will. Let me share, I guess, a little bit of what I have, and then we can bring it up to the rest of the floor. Okay. So My who, what, when, where, why. So who, we're gonna have a robot. We're gonna have a kid scientist who designed him, and we're gonna have some of his friends. One of his friends is like kind of a brute. His other friend is a genius, and there's like a goth girl around there somewhere. When this is before science fair. The robot lost his will to live drive. So you have to find his will to live drive, and if you don't, then the robot will probably die. He'll lose the fair, and the kid will probably be disappointed with his life, something like that. Where it's in a school, the main area is like a gym. Where the places are around, there's like there's like the gym area over here. There's a boy and a girl's bathroom. This is like a hallway that has maybe like some trophies on the side here, because like next to the gym. This is a weight room. With like maybe you can find like a barbell and like use it to like crash open one of the trophy cases and use that. I'm thinking maybe the will to live drive got left in the bathroom, like he went to go pee and like he had it in his pocket for some reason, and then he has to find it in there. There's hall monitors, and that's like, so I kind of want this to be a little stealthy. So like there's hall monitors around to like, I don't know, to prevent people from cheating, I guess, in the science fair. So you have to like kind of sneak past them. So it's like my beginning, middle, like avoid the hall monitors, gotta unlock the bathroom. Possible ending, robot lives, robot dies. You befriend somebody. Wild cards. Multiple drives that are hidden in the school, because this is a robotics fair, and I guess everybody's just like leaving their equipment lying around. So if you can actually put the wrong drive in the robot, and it'll like have unintended consequences. Maybe your robot will turn violent, and then you have to solve how to kill your own robot, I guess. You can turn one of the hall monitors into your friend if you find like a cup of coffee, and then like they become your friend, and they allow you to have more free reign of the school, and use that. And yeah, that's what came out of my brain. Anybody else want to present? Brody, you were interested in saying, why don't you come on up here? Here, yeah.
Right. Guess my who, what, when, where, why was a little mixed up. It's like a sci-fi setting, and you're prisoners on some sort of like convoy fleet. What? Oh, okay. Where's the camera? Okay. And then you're prisoners on a ship, and there's some like guard that's defecting, and basically the goal of this encounter is to take over one of the ships and somehow escape with one of them. So maybe you got caught after a heist gone wrong, and now you're being taken to like the system admiral or whatever. The beginning, you like wake up in a prison cell with your buddies. Some guard is a defector, and he like lets you get out. The middle is you take over one ship, and then you like are able to see what the other ships on the fleet are. Then the end, you like hop ships, take them over, and then flee with one, having like sabotaged the rest of the fleet. I guess the wild card is that like maybe you have a choice of which one you want to take. So there's like the flagship that's really difficult, but you find that one of the other ships is like a bunch of prisoners of war that you can recruit, and then you can leave with a whole like army. And then another could be like a really fast scouting ship that has like some nice diamonds or something. So they can either leave with a whole fleet or like a whole flagship, or they could leave with just some quick money. Or yeah, money. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Yeah, like in space. Whoa.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh man, so I guess we all did predicts. Yeah, here, 1 second. So I've got this like little map here. And I'll do my best to kind of describe what's going on, even though I'm sure I'll be in the shot. Am I the main character? I don't know, whatever. So we got here, you can appreciate it, Tony. I guess I don't know. We've got you start upside down. Yeah, there you go. All right. So we got this like little kind of prison area where there's like these cell blocks, and you're like down here in this cell block, and the first thing that happens is there's like a guard walking back and forth, right? And like you overhear that guard give some sort of hint. Like there's got to be some hint. I'm not sure what exactly the hint would be, so I went with a cliche of like he's going to sleep. You know, he's a tired boy. So you see him go around the corner and like disappear, and then you hear like snoring or something. And then that's when like the prison break happens. So like your buddy or something blows a hole in the wall, right? And like somehow the guard's still asleep. I didn't really patch all the holes together, you know, some strings are not. But so you get the like guard's keys and you unlock the doors to the other prisoner guard people, or you can just try to do this on your own. But then you'll likely fail because there's not like a riot. You can't really like hide in the you know, the guards are coming. There's an explosion. So anyways, you steal the keys, you open the other people's cell doors, and then you're like out in this courtyard area. And this is like Pirates of the Caribbean times. Right? We're not futuristic. And it's this courtyard. It's like St. Augustine's beach over here, and these little tower things, and you find like a stack of cannonballs, and cannonballs were kind of explosive back then. Like they did innovate at some point. They were like, what if instead of steel chunks they had dynamite in them? So like they did figure that out. And so hey, you take some of the explosive cannonballs, and like hopefully during the riot you use them to blow open the guard gate and like escape to the little port city of wherever you're like vibing. That was gonna be the flow of the level. Not great on the wild card, but like there's definitely opportunities to fail if you don't pick up on the hints that you should like use the keys to open the guard doors. But yeah, I didn't really think about the dialogue or like the story of it very much, but I'm sure you could sort of plaster a story onto this otherwise relatively generic timeline of Prison Break. Yeah, that's what
I'm sure with like I'm sure with your wild card you can end up like, oh, like maybe like a fire starts during the riot, and if you drop your cannonball in one of the fires, and like a lot of your fellow prisoners. I mean, there's a lot of great explosives are great wild cards, man. You know. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Let's see. All right, Abe, tell us about your Prison Break story.
Right, so my prison break story is like an actual prison break, and it's just set in a prison. So it's like a modern day prison, and I went with the whole infected thing. So start from nothing. I created a character as a prisoner, and I kind of focus a bit more on the story side than the level design. That like happened in the 2 minutes of, iteration. I'm a prisoner, and the enemy is the infected, and I think one of the worst places to be in like a infected type situation is a prison because of just the way that it's structured and the amount of people there. So you have a friendly, someone claiming to be a guard, you're not entirely sure. You know that there's someone in the room who opened the door to your cell. And you kind of walk out, and the first thing that you see is you're in a solitary. So you see and kind of like in Fallout 4 when you like are kind of dropped into the world and you're looking around for clues instead of like the other frozen vats, and there's and such like that. I thought there would be, you look into the military cells and you would see, there's a blaze stain. There's no like clue to the player exactly that there is an infected situation outside of like, just getting the game and knowing that beforehand. But finally you look into one solitary cell and you actually see the first infected, and it's kind of like a stealth like, because you don't have anything. I mean, you're not gonna find much in a prison. So you're kind of, it's a stealth game where you're working together with the person in the comm room to help you navigate through the levels. And it's kind of like a situation where the comm tower is right above where you're at, but it's just inaccessible because it's locked from the prisoner side over there, and they're locked in from the infected on their side. So they're only able to help you navigate, and you're hopefully going to, get a weapon and whatever you can to help them get out. Or you could be, the whole point is that it's like introductory to a game, so you could also be selfish and, just escape from the prison. And because you're also not sure, like the whole thing is that the NPC could be a wild card as well, because there's no kind kind of insurance to the player that he is a guard or that he isn't. He's just someone in the con room, and their prisoner, or even using you as bait so he could escape. And it's like a mind game of trust. So that's like the main thing that I wanted to kind of create. Design is not that solid. Again, it was iteration too, but kind of like those different levels.
Solitaire.
Yeah, just like a way for the characters to like the player to be introduced and not instantly have like zombies in front of their face. You know, you have solitary, and there's nothing that's going to touch you, but eventually you'll realize that you have to go somewhere else if you want to progress in the game. I mean, I was thinking like straight up. I don't know. Yeah, like infected in a prison. You have to play stealth like you can't just be like. It's not like I don't know, most infected games you could just walk out and like punch them, something like that. Like if you get seen, you're in a prison. You're like the only live person. You're done. So like once you escape the prison though, then like you can play like more like the other infected games where you're in the woods and you know you get to choose what you do. But the prison is like the hard level, like kind of introductory into what the zombies are in this game, which would hopefully be like the ones that run, like those the scary ones, not the ones that walk, the scary ones that are actually an issue. So
Yeah, rounds of applause. Anybody been to a prison? A prison? Our third. Our third prison.
Because you start with nothing. That's the obvious. Why you stand in front? Okay. I'm like, oh wait, I'm trying to think. Hello. I try to keep it pretty simple. I'm like, okay, that's the easiest start, right? I'm like, what could be fun about this? I don't know. First thing that came to my head was Indiana Jones. So you run out of prison, you're escaping the whole time, but you're also like, you're trying to get out with cash, right? Get out with some treasure. And you're also, of course, guards, would there be, but along with dealing with traps. So if you start with nothing, I'm kind of like that. You can pick up stuff. The guards is not really effective though, and already trained with it. The whole, I guess, the mechanic of the game would be like utilizing the traps to deal with the guards. So like you end up learning. You start with escaping, and then start learning how to use the traps to your advantage. So, like getting out, like as simple as that. And the actual map design, a bit of a mess, but it's kind of fun. I guess I just use a lot of narrow corridors.
I see acid pit.
Yeah, I see. There's a big acid pit. I mean, there's people there.
That's where our taxpayer dollars are going.
Yeah, I like this one the best. It's the boulder trap, right? You go to a certain wire and you go all the way out, right? And then you go again, and there's another boulder trap. Like,
Sadistic.
It's just like there's like if you're aware and like you're trying to look not like you're taking time or but people like I was thinking, that which is kind of the thing. I don't know, maybe people can be going from the other side. I don't know, maybe like, I didn't really super flesh out the what, where, and why. But I was thinking more mechanically. Like prison escape, okay. What escape? And then Indiana Jones style, maybe like more. One would be Nazis. That's true. It's been a while. And then why? Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking more of mechanically. Eddie, like what comes to your head?
I mean, what this makes like it's like a commentary on the private prison industry, right? So
get him.
So I mean, it'd be cool, like just for like a location details, right? Like maybe posters of this corporation that does this prison, or maybe this, like maybe I don't know.
I
Huh?
was thinking more. Yes, like so. Like, I guess it could be more of like a proper, like you got stuck there.
It's like a Resident Evil 2 where like it takes place in a police department, but the police department used to be this art museum, this art gallery, and so it's like full of like hidden paths, like all the locks are like with playing card. Oh, this is the spade door, and you have to find the spade key for it. It's like so like yeah, it reminds me. This reminds me of that. Maybe like anybody have ideas on for Alex here? He's looking for ideas here.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think an interesting wild card could be like behind the boulder. Like if you if you go down there, like oh you go behind like where the exactly you know follow the danger.
Throw the boulder.
Yes, and maybe like you activate the one boulder at first, and if the player starts to go down there, and you know they find something, then that's the second boulder, and now you have to actually like run away or do like some sort of like if it's like a tabletop thing, do a skill check for them. What you find down there can like see a path, and, you know that lets you like cut through a bunch of the level, like like a great in Among Us, you know, like you find the great and you. Yes, you find an item, you take there's like a timer, and you have to get out of there. I know this is great. No, dude, this is pretty fun. I think it sounds pretty fun. I mean, it's super gamey. I mean, I mean, all the traps. I mean, you can like you were talking about, like you can use the traps to your advantage. Also, you know, it's like you're gaming is. It's a generalized like version of like how in Dark Souls you can like get the bosses to get stuck in the doorways and just fight them like that. Yeah, good job, Alex. All right. Yeah, man, it's like leading in R&D prison design, in prison research and development over here at I don't know, Cage Corporation. Does anyone want to present a thing?
Yeah, this one is also weird. So so you're in a lab.
Did you do a prison as well?
It it wasn't prison until I realized how many people had prisons, and so I had.
Time is what you're saying.
Yes, I did. Yes. But you're in a lab, and this is a multiplayer game.
Hold up.
Oh, yeah, this is okay. So you're in a lab. This is a multiplayer game. You're a worm, and there are 4 players, and they're all also worms. What happens is that every round of the game, you draw a body part out of a hat, and that body part gets added to your worm. And so each of these body parts have different abilities. You can have an eye, you can have a mouth, you could have you could have an arm, you could have wings, you could have an arm that has a knife, you could have an arm that has a gun. All these will give you different. All these give you different.
Is the gun part of the biology? Or
Yes, yes. It's an organic gun. But all these can give you different abilities. Like if you have a mouth, if you let's say you manage to get your way out of your area and you make it to another person, you kill them, you can eat them, you get their body parts too. Or you can or I don't know, you could have like a vent, or like you could have like I don't know, like a green vial of goo, and when you eat that, it's like it modifies the way that you get parts of the hat. Maybe you can get 2 parts. Maybe you can pick up the part that you want. But that's like the goal is that you start with nothing and then you get all this crazy stuff over time and try and kill everyone. Yes.
What the
There's a
whoa, wait.
there's a tiny hat inside of the hat.
Okay.
You can get multiple mouths. You could have if you get unlucky, you can get like 10 mouths. And zero legs or anything.
So good. I wonder if I would like.
I think that's what happens. I don't know, probably.
I'm glad that
Yeah,
Weird worms.
worms.
Said worms. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
Wow, this is a really unique idea. All right, we have a few people. Brian, I see some things on the table there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, if you have, you don't have to.
Nothing. Guess I'll don't know how to hold. Don't know how to
Hold this part up to your mouth. Hold that end of the
No, I mean like the paper and all. Is this fine? You can hear me? Okay. So I was thinking just start with nothing. Okay, you're just stranded on an island. That's what happens when you like start with nothing. So who? I guess it's just you, but maybe you also have like some girlfriend or boyfriend. That could also work. Okay. And what? I guess you're stranded on an island when it's morning. It's morning right now. For now. Okay. Where? I just said an island. And why? Because the last time you would try to escape an island, a storm struck your raft, and now you're stranded on another island, just a different island. Okay. Maybe each time that happens, the island is slightly different in its layout. Okay. But basically, you always start on this beach here. It's got a few trees, but if you walk a bit inland more, you have a few more trees, and this is where you get most of your wood. Basically, you're just trying to make another raft. And there are always three components to a raft, as everybody knows. Okay, that's wood, and then rope to tie it together, and a sail made of wool. Okay, it just so happens that that the rope and the wool that you need are actually on the complete opposite side of the island. And also, it's like a whole day. You're hungry, so you have to like walk through all this area, and like maybe there's like a river or a pond here where you get your water, and a bunch of like deer where you can hunt and get your food. So yeah, you walk through there, and then I thought, okay, what are some ways to make this a bit more interesting? Okay, and this I came up with in just 5 minutes. I was thinking, okay, first off, maybe there's a giant, the giant mountain in the middle is not actually just a mountain, it's actually a volcano, so you have a time limit, I guess. Or maybe the time limit is just the day, because by the time you get to the other side of the island, and then you have to make your way back, by the way, because I don't know, maybe this side, maybe the water on this side of the island is like acid or something, or no, that girlfriend or boyfriend that I mentioned to you earlier is just so stubborn and doesn't want to go over to that side of the island with you and just wants to stay to this side of the island. And maybe on your way back, it's dark out and the deer are not sleeping; they're actually savage and they actually do want to attack you. Okay, and maybe when you get back to your girlfriend or boyfriend, okay, and you know, you left them there, they actually turn savage and they actually want to eat you now. So you have to basically build your raft after fighting your girlfriend or boyfriend. And then you're on a raft and then it gets struck by lightning. Next thing you know, you're on another island.
So do you get
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it comes with the island, sure. Sure.
what's making these deer and these boyfriend or girlfriend? Is it a curse?
Maybe
Time of the month.
it's the moon. It's the moon. I just decided it's the moon. The moon's haunted.
Full moon every night.
No.
So it's just one time that you're.
Nope.
I'm asking them.
All right.
Okay, no,
All right.
great. I like the island. I like the contained space. I like that time is kind of a wild card. You know, you have to, depending on the amount of time that you take to get your materials, then it's just gonna make it a lot more difficult for you to do what it is that you need to do to get to the end of the level. Okay, so we're at time here. Do you guys want to give a quick rundowns of what y'all did? Yeah, I see a lot. I see.
So you were just a caveman, cave person, chilling. When this portal opens up, and these guys steal your favorite rock. You follow them through the portal. You're in a cyberpunk city. You're a caveman, so you're starting with nothing pretty much. You gotta use rocks, and you gotta be a little clever to take down this shadow corporation that stole your favorite rock. That's it.
Okay, nice. It's nice, sweet, simple, to the point. Okay, caveman in futuristic city. Awesome. I feel like that caveman.
Basically, I did a 2D side scroller where you literally start in nothing. So like you're literally in this empty white room. And so you, the player, you're escaping your own like headspace and thoughts. So like the walls are bare and floor, and the way to progress the level is like you move your mouse around, and like there's like interactables on the walls and the floor. So like you'll notice there's an interactable when the cursor changes. And basically, you unlock these hidden memories every single time you click on an interactable. And then some of these interactables don't progress the level. Like some of them are just for funsies. So like if you click on someplace on the wall, like a rubber ducky comes out, you know what I'm saying? Like it is still in relation to the memory, but it's not going to progress the level. What progresses the level is when you click on a certain like space on the wall or floor and a cinematic memory plays. And there are wild cards where, like I said, the rubber ducky thingy, or like if you click on the floor, it might be an interactable where it just kills you. So that's basically it. It's not about clicking the correct memory. It's just you click whatever like is on the wall or on the floor. Like you can move left or right. Sorry, I should have clarified. The end is like hold on. The end of the game is when you interact with all the interactables and like collect all the memories. Then it plays like each memory, like a cinematic memory, basically. There's no certain order.
So
Like it's just completely randomized. Mhm.
they're all within the. Going to get
Right,
other levels.
right.
That where you,
Not really, but that's good. That's a really good idea. Yeah. Yeah. It's very very similar. I was inspired by that. Yeah. Headspace, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
somebody once told me that originality is the art of consuming resources. And I won't reveal who said that to me. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope y'all had fun. Awesome. I know William was watching online, so he's not now, but I'm gonna ask William to hope he participated. And yeah, y'all can goodbye, YouTube.